Presidential candidate and also in the United States Senate from Vermont. Senator, good to have you with us tonight. I want your reaction, Senator, to Nike will create 10,000 more jobs if they can just get the TPP. What do you make of that?
Well, these are the kinds of promises we hear every single time these guys want a trade agreement. Frankly, I don't believe it. But given the fact that they have, as you've just indicated, something like 1 million workers all over the world, given the fact that today we're not producing one Nike piece of shoe or sneaker in this country, I think we have reason to be very doubtful about what they are trying to do. Look, Ed, I was very disappointed about what the president said today. The idea that we're going to be engaged on an equal footing, a level playing field. You're not on a level playing field when people make 56 cents an hour in Vietnam. That is not a level playing field. It is not a level playing field when you have a state investor agreement which allows corporations to sue governments when they're trying to protect the health and environment of their communities. This is a continuation of disastrous agreements. In 1970, 25% of the manufacturing, 25% of the jobs in this country were manufacturing. Today, it's 9%. Since 2001, we've lost almost 60,000 factories, and trade is one of the reasons for that. So enough is enough. We need a trade agreement not supported by corporate America, Wall Street, the drug companies, but supported by the needs of working people in this country.
Senator, do you know what rules the president is talking about that are different in this trade agreement as opposed to the one with South Korea or the Central American or NAFTA? What rules does the president talk about? Because he never gets specific in any sense of the word. He never gets to the devil in the details. It's a lot of lofty, generic talk that this is going to be great and the rules are different, and if we let China write the rules, then of course we're going to lose. What about that?
Well, I think what he is talking about are trade enforcement rules regarding labor rights, regarding the environment as well. But the reality is we have had similar type enforcement language in previous agreements, which really haven't amounted to a whole lot. And I think what is very clear to me, Phil Knight, who is the CEO of Nike, is worth some $22 billion. He pays workers all over the world 50 cents an hour, 60 cents an hour. That is the business model these guys like. This is what corporate America like. This is what the big money interest likes. And it does sadden me that we have a president who's standing with all of the big money guys against organized labor, against the environmental community, and he's telling some of us in the progressive movement that we don't get it. Well, I think we get it just fine. I think, unfortunately, he doesn't get it.
You've been very clear on this, Senator. Do you think that you have been more clear than Hillary Clinton on this? And is this a campaign issue? I mean, it would seem to me, Senator, that this goes right to the fabric of everything that you have stood for and everything that you have advocated for. That this is a prime example of what America can't do if we're going to economically go in the right place and create more jobs.
Ed, look, if you look at what's been happening in this country in the last 40 years, what you're seeing is a disappearing middle class. You're seeing people working longer hours for low wages. You're seeing, as I said a moment ago, the loss of tens of thousands of factories, and you're seeing massive income and wealth inequality. All of that is related to trade. So I think any serious candidate has got to be upfront and say, do you support a continuation of disastrous trade policies, or do you want a new policy of trade which works for American workers and not just the CEOs of large corporations? This is a huge issue. My record is pretty clear on that. And Secretary Clinton and any other candidate is going to have to tell us which side they're on. This is one you can't waffle. You're either for this TPP or against it. I am vehemently against it.
Okay. Does it surprise you that President Obama is in campaign mode with this? That administration officials are putting pressure on some environmental groups, saying, hey, we were with you on climate change, you got to give us this one. I mean, this is some real backdoor arm twisting that's going on. Why is he doing this?
It's going on in Well, you know, he's doubling down. He is a free trader. I believe he is, you know, he has been that for many, many years, and he wants to win this thing. But I would hope, you know, that he understands that all of his natural allies, every union in this country, virtually all of the environmental community, millions and millions of working people all over this country, are saying we do not want more of these disastrous trade agreements. And here he is now, lining up with all of the big money interests, Chamber of Commerce, National Association of Manufacturers, pharmaceutical industry, Wall Street, all of the big money guys are on his side, and he is telling us that we're wrong on this issue. He is on the side of the worker on this issue. We are not. Well, I respectfully disagree.
Senator and presidential hopeful Bernie Sanders with us tonight on The Ed Show. Senator, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Remember to answer tonight's question at pulse.msn.